As the female host of a storytelling podcast aimed specifically at women who have struggled or are struggling to use their voice, it will come as no surprise that gender equality is something I hold close to my heart. Not because it's a bandwagon to jump on. I truly wish it wasn't a thing. I mean, it's nuts that we're still talking about this in 2023. But because, like so many of you, it's impacted me. And still now, from time to time, it still does. Hello, I'm Hilary Salzman, and this is The Everyday Storyteller, a safe, inclusive space for women with something to say. There's no question that I was treated different in my early career from my male counterparts. Paid less, passed over for promotion, sexualised, hit on by creepy old men, including my boss, just because they thought they could get away with it. But it wasn't until I started talking to others about my experiences, and most importantly hearing theirs, did I realise the true impact of phrases that have become all too common in our everyday speech. Gender bias, inequality, discrimination. But by the same force in which I had my eyes open to just how many people experience discrimination, I also discovered something else. The power of stories to take the negative and transform it into a massive rolling engine for change. And why? Because stories make our world bigger. They allow us to get to know people who we'll never meet and take us on a journey inside their lives, enabling us to feel what they feel and see what they see, opening our eyes and educating us to be better humans. Stories help us feel less alone in our experiences, in our fight, like invisible bonds connecting us around the world with people who, on paper, are different to us, but under the surface are exactly the same. And storytelling gives us a space to celebrate these differences in a way that doesn't require money or resources, just a voice. But sadly, even that most basic of rights, our right to a voice, to share what we feel, to tell our own story, is a privilege not afforded to all. I'm sure you'll have had times when you feel your voice has been silenced based on your gender and the stereotypes that surround it. I know I have. Or you felt unable to use your voice for fear of discrimination or attack. This is the reality of the world we live in, but it doesn't have to be. This year's International Women's Day is all about embracing equity, wrapping our arms around a collective narrative and taking action to drive change to create an inclusive world for all, where all voices matter. Yes, this is a fight that needs to be more than something we just write about, but our words do matter and they do hold weight. So here are some ideas of how you can use your words to drive action. Firstly, celebrate the achievements of women you care about and who inspire you. If you see someone doing an amazing job supporting difference, tell others about it. Let them be inspired too. Use your voice to share your own experiences and what these have taught you in terms of being part of the solution, not the problem. Even if it's something as simple as a conversation you've had with your children or a time you've called out when you saw something that was wrong. Next up, tell your story about what International Women's Day and embracing equity means to you personally. What are you doing in your own sphere of influence to help? What barriers have you faced and how are you overcoming them? Use stories to raise awareness of groups or movements you're part of. Shared experiences are a great way to unite people behind a common cause and shine a light onto areas of the community that others might not be aware of. And finally, speak out. When you see something that you know isn't right, use your voice and your words to call it and invite others to stand behind you. After all, we're all in this together. Thank you.